Netflix's The Crown dramatizes the lives of Britain's royal family over the last few decades. Consequently, how old Queen Elizabeth II is in The Crown changes a great deal. Each season of The Crown deals with a different period of British history and the royal family's role within it. This way, the audience gets to see the Queen and the rest of the royals develop and change over time. As a way to deal with the show's vast timeline, The Crown has opted to have different actors play certain characters for different periods. As such, new actors have been brought onto the show every few seasons, allowing for different yet equally compelling interpretations of these historical figures, irrespective of how old Queen Elizabeth II is in The Crown. So far, Claire Foy has portrayed Queen Elizabeth II in seasons 1 and 2 of The Crown, succeeded by Olivia Colman in seasons 3 and 4. Imelda Staunton will replace Colman in The Crown seasons 5 and 6, and Verity Russell has portrayed young Princess Elizabeth in flashbacks in seasons 1 and 3. The Crown Season 5 is set to release on Netflix this November, and Season 6 is currently in production. As it would be impossible for the show to cover every single moment of Queen Elizabeth II's life, certain significant events were selected for The Crown to focus on. Here's how old Queen Elizabeth II is in every season of The Crown so far. How old was Elizabeth when she became Queen? Queen Elizabeth was born on April 21, 1926, in London. When she was born, she was third in line for the throne, behind her uncle Edward and her father. Elizabeth's father became king when his brother Edward abdicated so that he could marry Wallis Simpson, an American divorcee. This role reversal changed the course of Elizabeth's life as she became the heiress presumptive in 1936. Years later, when Elizabeth was 25 years old, she succeeded to the throne after the death of her father King George VI on 6 February 1952. She was in Kenya at the time of her succession. Queen Elizabeth II's official coronation didn't happen until months later, on 2 June 1953, when she was 27. How old was Queen Elizabeth in The Crown Season 1? The Crown Season 1 starts in 1947, when Elizabeth was 21 years old, beginning with her wedding to Prince Philip, Matt Smith, in November. Season 1 contained 10 episodes total, ending with Prime Minister Winston Churchill's, John Lithgow, resignation and Elizabeth's sister Princess Margaret's, Vanessa Kirby, decision not to marry Group Captain Peter Townsend, Ben Miles. Both these events happened in 1955, though Churchill's resignation happened in April when Elizabeth was 28, and Princess Margaret's announcement happened in October when she was 29. How old was Queen Elizabeth in The Crown Season 2? The Crown Season 2 begins soon after the Season 1 finale in 1956, when Elizabeth was 30 years old as both Britain and France invaded Egypt in a bungled attempt to gain control over the Suez Canal. 10 episodes later, Season 2 ends just after Elizabeth and Philip's third son, Prince Edward, is born in March 1964. Queen Elizabeth was 37 years old at the time. How old was Queen Elizabeth in The Crown Season 3? The Crown Season 3, now with Olivia Colman portraying the Queen, begins later that same year in October 1964, with Elizabeth now 38 years old. After another 10 episodes, The Crown Season 3 ends in June 1977, with the celebration of Queen Elizabeth II's Silver Jubilee after 25 years on the throne. Elizabeth's 25th anniversary as Britain's reigning monarch happened when she was 51 years old. How old was Queen Elizabeth in The Crown Season 4? The Crown Season 4 takes place between 1979, when the Queen was 53 years old, and 1990, when she was 64. This season of The Crown began with the controversial election of Margaret Thatcher, Gillian Anderson, as Britain's next Prime Minister and the assassination of Lord Mountbatten, Charles Dance, Prince Philip's, Tobias Menzies, uncle. Season 4 ends with the resignation of Margaret Thatcher in November 1990. The upcoming season of The Crown which will feature the debut of Imelda Staunton as Queen Elizabeth II, will focus on the royal family's life from the early to mid-1990s, covering Elizabeth's reign while she was approximately 65-70 years old, depending on the exact events and dates the show will choose to focus on. It will likely cover Prince Charles and Princess Diana's tumultuous split and Diana's shocking death, as well as John Major's, Johnny Lee Miller, tenure as the UK's Prime Minister between 1990-1997. Charles will be portrayed by Dominic West and Diana by Elizabeth Debicki, taking over from Josh O'Connor and Emma Corrin, respectively. Prince Philip will be portrayed by Sir Jonathan Pryce. Anticipation for the new season of The Crown is at an all-time high after Queen Elizabeth II's passing earlier this month, with audiences hoping to understand more about who Elizabeth was and what her life was like as Britain's longest-reigning monarch.